to my channel. And in today's video, I'll be sharing with you my interview experience and for Dell. So Dell is basically a software company, and I gave the interview for Dell US in August 2022. And in today's video, I'll be talking about how I got the interview call for it, how many rounds we had for that, how many rounds of interview were there, then what all questions were asked from me, and how you can be prepared and how you can face your interviews. And just to give you a heads up, I qualified the interview. I got an offer letter from Dell, and I joined there as a software engineer too. And I worked there for 1 month round, and then soon I got another offer from a different company, which is Expedia. So currently I'm working over there only, and so I just switched to that. But I'll be talking about the work experience, my team, and everything. So yeah, stay tuned for it. And before moving forward, I just want to if this video benefits you in any case, and if this is something that you were looking for, or do you have any questions, you can just drop down in the comment section below. But if this video benefits you in any case, then do like, share, and subscribe the video. And without any further ado, let's get started. So yeah, the first thing is how I got the interview call for it. So basically, as I talked about earlier also, how you can apply for jobs in US. If you haven't seen that video, you can just go and see that video. I'll provide a link in the description box. So there, I have told you that if you are how you can apply, the most easy process of applying in any company is through LinkedIn. So I was already having an L2 visa, and everything was in process. So I was having the L2 visa, but I was just looking for jobs so that I can move to US. And yeah, so for that, I, after having the visa, I was applying for companies. And in this in this course of duration, whatever companies. So first of all, you can go to LinkedIn. You will see a job section over there. So in the job section, there will be different companies, and they'll be different, they'll be telling you what position they are hiring for, or how many years of experience they want, what kind of a job description it is. So you can just go through that job section. You will find multiple companies over there. You can have a filter of which companies you want to apply to, and in that way, you can have all sorts of job which you are looking for, or which suits your requirements. So yeah, the same way I did. So I just went to that job section, I applied for it, and I applied for multiple companies actually. But yeah, and through that also you can do, or you can also have a referral through any friend. But since I was not knowing anyone who was working in Dell, so I just applied through that job section. And when I applied for it, I got an interview call from one of the HR, who was there in I think New York. So yeah, she called me, and she just gave me a heads up that this particular job, what role they are looking for, and how many rounds of interview I'll be having. So yeah, that was a brief phone call. So in the phone call, they briefed me about the team, and they briefed me about the role. So it was a software engineer 2 role. Then they told me that there will be around 4 rounds of interview plus 1 managerial round. So 4 technical rounds plus 1 managerial round was the number of interview rounds that I went through. And then they just asked me that when it's good to schedule the time and the interview. So I just told them that when I was my availability, and according to that, the interview was scheduled. So 1 week after I gave the interview dates, and that time only. So actually it took 2 days, and in every in each day there were 2 rounds of interview. So in total there were 4 rounds of technical interview. And once you clarify on that, once you are done, once you clear on those 4 rounds, then you will be having a managerial round. If in case you don't clear those 4 rounds, then you are you have to reapply, or you're not selected. But yeah, managerial round is only for those people who are done with their 4 rounds, and now they are just at the final process. And if they clears the managerial round, then they are given the offer. Otherwise, they they have to reapply. Yeah, so that's the process. And regarding the interview round, so mostly every round of interview was based on the data structures and algorithms. So like the first round also, they asked me briefly about my introduction and what projects, which company I'm currently working in. So yeah, I just briefed them about the work. The company that I was working for at that time was VMware. So I just told them about my team, my projects, and everything. Then they asked me, like they opened me for me like a coding so I think that was in HackerRank. So yeah, they opened a HackerRank portal, and there, like, what happens that one side you will be given the question, and the right side you have to type in the code. And whatever you are typing, your interviewer is also seeing what you're typing. And like it's a two-way round. So whatever you are typing, you have to share your screen. And like even if you don't share your screen, like there's a link. So sometimes what happens that the interview, they'll ask you to share your screen, because like there is a possibility of cheating and all those things. So now they are asking the interviews like to share their screen. But for me, like it was not a sharing screen. They just asked me to have my video on. And like in that link, that the hacker rank link that they provided, so they were also able to see whatever I was typing. And yeah, so that was the thing. And the question was basically based on the link list. So how, like I don't remember exactly the question, but it was something like you have to detect the loop, and you have to find the first starting point of where the loop is beginning. So yeah, that way. And before, so this is something that I am just telling you about, like from my experience, is that whenever you are asked any question, just don't jump into typing the code, because it gives a very wrong impression to your interviewer, that he to me to him, like it may seem like that you have like learned the code by heart, and you're just typing it. So just don't do that. Just first try to read the question. Just try to be as interactive as possible. So whenever you are given any question, though you know like what you're supposed to do, or like there is nothing that you want to clarify, but still, like it's always a good practice if you ask as many questions from the interview as you want, because like in that way he'll also know that what you are understanding and what the question is. So both of you are on the same page or not. Plus it will also give him that you are trying to understand the problem, and it's not something that you're just jumping on coding. So coding is not important, but how you are conveying your solution, how you're approaching the problem is very important. So first thing, always make sure that you ask as many questions from your interview as you can. Secondly is try not to jump to the code directly, but try to decode the problem, how you're going to solve it, how, like what should be the time complexity, what should be the space complexity, how you can like reduce it. So all those questions you will get to know as you try to be interactive with your interviewer, because in that way also you will try to understand that what he wants from you. So sometimes it may happen that time complexity, you are thinking of a solution might be n square, but what he is thinking it to be in order of n. So yeah, in that way, like you will know that what he is actually looking for in your code, and how you can approach it in a better way. So yeah, that was few things that I just wanted to share. Then apart from that, like it was a normal round. So yeah, it was a coding round. And then like after all these things, I just typed in the code. So after you're done with your code, you have to run a set of I would say set of test cases. So if you are, even if your code is bug free, but then you have to run the test cases, and all the test cases should pass. So that is one thing that which is very important, which you have to keep in mind. So yeah, that was so in the initial time when I was running the test cases, like I think all of them passed, but just like 3 were there which were failing. And yeah, then I was asked to correct the test case and find out why they are failing. So yeah, it took around half an hour. And the all the interviewers are very like they are very patient. So they'll not tell you that you have to hurry up or something. You can take your time. You can be you can take your time. You can just try to understand the problem. You can tell them the approaches. So in that way, like everything is good, and you don't have to hurry up, or you don't have to be nervous anything. But yeah, at last, like all the test cases ran, and then like after that he asked me few more questions on those things. And like everything apart from that was verbal. So yeah, he asked me few more questions. And apart from that, like he also told me that how you can reduce the space complexity, why you thought of this solution, and stuff like that. Yeah, then they asked me questions about my work experience and about like the company that I was working for. And apart from that, they'll also ask you questions based on the language that you are that you coded in. So for me it was C++. So they asked me a few questions on the different polymorphism that we have, and abstraction, like all those sort of questions. So yeah, make sure that you have understood the concepts well, and it's not something that you have just tried to um, just just grasp them by heart, because you have to make them understand what you know, and like it should be in a smooth manner. So just make sure that everything, the concepts that you know are like well understood, and what you're trying to do, that you all know. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much it about the first round. And after that, like I had to head for my second round. So again, like each round is of 1 hour, and after this 1 hour I was asked for the second round. So the second round was completely different from the first round, and it was more focused on the Linux concept. So since like the thing that I was applying for, as I told you, was so every question or interviews, they are basically they revolve around the team that you are applying for. So for me, like it was something to do with the file systems and the different types of like something, it was file storage or file systems team. So like they wanted to like hire candidate who know about the file systems and all, but just don't be so again, the second round was more specific about the requirements on the file system. So how the Linux commands are there, like how you can open the file, so all those things are there, right? Now you have to understand that how the things, or how the cd commands or whatever you type in Linux, how it actually works behind. So yeah, that was more focused on those concepts, like when you're opening the file, what happens when you open the file in the background, or when you do a cd command, what happens. So yeah, stuff like that, mostly it was around. And after that, make sure that from the operating system, there is a section of file system management or file management. Just try to go through those concepts, because these are the concepts which will help you in answering those kind of questions. So yeah, just make sure you went through those concepts. And again, like it's a team specific, so it was a team for me that I was getting hired for. Maybe the team for you is different, so again the questions will be different for you. But like if it is file system in any kind of interview that you face for, then make sure that you go through the file management, because that is really helpful, and that sets the basis of any other thing. So yeah, that was one thing. And apart from that, like when they were done, they asked me a coding problem for the binary trees. Now binary trees as such, they are not difficult, but how you are approaching the problem is what they were looking for. So that he didn't ask me to code the problem like it was there for my first round, but he just gave me like a kind of question, and he asked me that what you're going to do for this, how you're going to approach it. Then he tweaked it a little bit, then asked me that how you're going to approach now, and what will be the time complexity, how will it be different. Then the different type of traverses that we have in tree, right? So we have in order, post order, pre-order. Now why and which kind of a traversal you choose from in order to solve a particular question. So each and every question has to be solved by a particular type of in um, traversal, right? So for which kind of traversal you will be using, you should be in a state of explaining them, and you should know that why you're using in order and why not post order. So yeah, stuff like that will be asked to you. So yeah, that was pretty much it about the second round, and again it was of 1 hour. So yeah, that was for the first day. For the second day, again there were 2 rounds, and both of them, like they were again coding rounds. So in first round, like they asked me to construct I think it was a vertical binary tree, and you have to calculate the size of the width of that particular tree. So yeah, those kind of questions. And again, like it was more project specific, so what I was working in my company, what kind of projects I was like handling, and like what are the strengths, what are my weakness, and how basically basic they want to know like how you are a good team player, and whether like something that you have learned from your experience or not. So yeah, so mostly the other rounds were more focused on the projects that I had worked into, and my team like performance and everything. So yeah, those were the third round. The fourth round was again like it was coding plus like half an hour was coding. The second half an hour was these behavioral questions. So in behavioral questions, like you can get a lot of like you can get a whole list of questions in any kind of Chrome or any in Google if you search for. And these questions, they mostly revolve around the work that you have done, how you approach a problem, what is something that you have faced in your company, and how, like, what kind of problem you have faced and how you overcome that, or what kind of issues that you have seen, and how you will make sure in future that you again don't land into the same issues. So yeah, stuff like that. There are a lot of questions. You can go through them and you will get a bunch of questions. You can prepare them before, because what happens, like, when you're in the interview, you may have worked very good, but when you're facing the interview at that time, you will not, like, immediately you can't recall what kind of projects you have worked on, and how you could have, like, answered the question in a better way. So yeah, just make sure that you go through all these kind of behavioral questions, and you try to have a questions of them. And mostly, like, it's not difficult, but it's actually like, how you have to be spontaneous at that particular point, because it's not like you will just sit there and you'll think, okay, I have done this thing or not. How you are going to line them up in a form of words in a better way. Okay, so for that, like, you should know, you should have, like, um, some kind of understanding from before. So just make sure that you go through those behavioral questions. And yeah, apart from that, like, all these for the 4 rounds. So as I told you, that they were mostly based on the company that I was interviewing for. Data structures and algorithms, that is very important. That forms the basis of any kind of software development interviews that you will be, like, giving. The third thing is important is your projects and your experience in the past companies. So whatever you is your experience, just make sure that you have all the projects listed down, what you have worked, what important things that you have worked in, and how you have approached the things there. So yeah, those all these three things, they form the entire basis of any kind of a technical discussion that you are like, giving. So after these 4 rounds, like, there was, like, the HR took around a 1 week or so to get back, and like, you'll get a mail. So similarly, I got a mail saying that my all the rounds have been cleared, and now I'll be, like, I have to face another round, which is a managerial round. So in managerial round, it's just a discussion, and it's like, it's a discussion with the head of that particular organization. So for me, like, it was again head of that organization, like, entire file system, whatever team was there. So the head of that team, like, I had an interview with him. So, like, it will not be anything like which you have faced before. Like, it will not be a technical discussion, it will not be any coding round or anything. So all these things won't be asked from you, but they'll like, they want to know how you interact with the people, like, how you interact, and how you know the things or not. And, like, you are already done with your technical round, so definitely you will be having coding and all those things knowledge, right? But they just want to know, like, how you are as a person, right? So yeah, again, just be prepared for some kind of a behavioral questions, and just be prepared, like, what kind of role that you're choosing. So mostly the question will be, like, why you are looking for this particular company, or why you want to be in Dell, and why you want to be in this particular team, what makes you, like, what makes you a right pick for the job. So all these kind of questions, like, they'll not be behavioral questions actually, but they'll be a little different. But they want to know, like, from you, like, how you selected this team, how you selected this particular company, why this company, and whether you would be okay in working from home or you have to work in office. So yeah, stuff like that will be asked. So be prepared. Again, there will be a lot of questions. You can go through Chrome, you can go to you can Google it, and you can type in the behavioral questions that are asked in sorry, the managerial kind of discussions that are asked in companies. And again, you will have a lot of questions. So just be prepared for all these questions. And after like, these 5 rounds were done, then again, like, they took around a week or so to announce the results. And, like, gladly I was in, and I got the offer. And, like, after the offer, they asked me about my traveling dates, and when I'll be just moving here. Because again, they after moving in US, it's a lot, like, there are another set of I would say, like, you have to produce some certificates, or you have to tell them that you are in US, because that's another set of formalities, and maybe that I'll cover in any other video. Like, after you got the job in US, and the first time of you coming in US, what all things you have to do, what all things you have to verify with your employer, so that you are getting you get hired. Because again, the offer letter that you have, it's subjected to null and void in case you don't produce those certificates, or if your verification does not go through. So yeah, that is another video that maybe I'll talk about in like, I'll make a video on that separately for this. But yeah, this video was mostly focused on my interview experience with Dell. In case you have any other question that you want to ask, or anything that you have in mind, just drop down in the comment section below. But till then, this was all I have, and take care. Bye bye.